If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Jersey Joe on the radio, 939 on AM 970 The Answer, around these fine United States of America on AM970theanswer.com. Taking no prisoners this morning, baby. You can call anytime, 877-970-2999. Oh, yeah, we're tough enough. Here's a man sitting next to me that is tough enough. Reverend Michel Faulkner. Michel Faulkner is the pastor for the New Horizon Church in New York City, also former New York Jet. I mean, you can just tell when he walks into a room, he owns it. And he's a former Republican candidate for New York City Comptroller, a frequent guest on this program, part of the family. Michael, welcome back, Reverend.
Thank you, Joe.
Nice
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. We're on TV. We got Michael on TV and everything. Look at that, man.
Hey.
You know, you look like you could do some damage, man. Like to this day,
like damage has been done to me. You mean?
you have screws in you and everything.
Yeah, just a few, but they were from college. Holdover. So yeah, like listen, hey, I turned 50 10 years ago. And
you look great.
And I ran 4 marathons. I've run 4 marathons. Now, see those little guys running marathons? I'm not impressed. 150 pounds, big deal. You tried dragging 250 pounds, 26.3 miles. Now, Joe, that's an accomplishment. So you say the Jets a year, but former marathon runner. But I feel good. It's great to be alive.
Knees good and everything like that, huh?
Yeah. Well, I have to wrap them now. Literally. Wow. I don't care. No shame in my game.
From the NFL?
It was pretty much from running. My doctor told me years ago, stop running. I'm
really?
Like, doctor, stop. Yeah, but it keeps me sane. It keeps, it's the thing that I can do. I don't play tennis, because I get frustrated. I can't play golf because I live in the city. I can't get out, So running is something I can do, and I just do. I enjoy it.
You're a golfer, though?
It's a funny story about golf. Okay, so I was living in Virginia, and I had just ordered my golf clubs, got my golf bag, because I knew a guy from Wilson, and so I'm left-handed, so I had to order a special set of golf clubs. And then God calls me back to New York City, so I'm like, oh my goodness. So, but I went to Virginia Tech, and we had the most beautiful 18-hole golf course right on campus. So
you could have been there anytime. Right?
Anytime. So
I got to take you to Liberty National, where Rudy goes. It's like right there in Jersey City. 2 minutes, you're there. By the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
You will love it.
Yeah.
With the course right there. I'm not playing. Maybe we should go drive around.
On the golf course. Hey, four, hey.
I'm the worst golfer, though. So you're a reverend. And now, how do you become a reverend? Did you get asked to be a reverend, or just you saw a vision of God? Did you?
Well, yeah.
Really?
I mean, that really, honestly, when my life changed around, listen, I was a party animal in college, and literally, I got saved. I came to know that God loved me, and He had a plan for my life. Once I came to discover that, all bets were off. I wanted to be different. I wanted to live different. And it wasn't like trying to live holier than thou, but living by His love and by His grace. And that's the way, it's been 40 years. It was 1978 when that happened. So it's...
where's the New Horizon Church? I should know this.
New Horizon Church is in Harlem. And actually, I'm now the founding pastor. So that's the title that they give you when they put you out to pasture. I literally started the church, but I turned it over to a younger guy, literally, and his wife. They're a wonderful couple, and so we support them and help and so forth. But I do more ministry outside of the church, like in NYCHA and other places and doing other things. But the pastoral ministry, I've been doing that since 1985. I've been in full-time ministry.
Therein to me lies the saving grace of the inner cities is the pastors, yourself, and we have Pastor Demas on the show, and he comes out from when you go to Harlem and you go out there because the government doesn't care enough to put jobs in there. God forbid jobs. What about jobs in there? And then God bless you for what you're doing with NYCHA. I was saying to Frankie, Michael, how in this day and age, in the 21st century, do people not have heat? And then how does it go on all week?
All week. And here's the thing that bothered me. I had been saying it all along for the last 2 years of my campaign. That was my issue. NYCHA Lives Matter. I hashtagged it, doing things because I'm saying, well, wait a minute. These people pay for goods and services they're not receiving. They're not getting the respect from the government, and they're loyal to a particular political party that's not paying them any attention. This was crazy. But just the basic human dignities, and now with the lead paint thing, that came out, and it was, it was understood that they knew about it in advance.
Whoa.
So right now, by God's grace, I will have an opportunity to spend an appreciable portion of my life and energy trying to help empower those folks, getting them political access, getting them financial access that they need to move on. So
what could we do? I mean, are there people without heat now as we speak?
Oh, absolutely.
How does that happen?
People, no heat, no hot water. The boiler's broke, or this broke, and that broke. Listen, when you give bureaucrats a business, bureaucrats don't run businesses. Government should not be in business. Government should be in the business of government, but they should allow business to be the private enterprise of people whose bottom line, who get paid for results. The government doesn't get paid for results, unfortunately.
Could we do anything to help? I mean,
can continue to pray. Listen, I've got a hashtag now, NYCHA Lives Matter, and we're actually in some discussions with several people about doing some things to empower the folks there, because the one thing that they have there is votes. You see, they have votes. They have votes, and we want to empower them to use their political leverage to move some things along. So, that, and I'm working with school safety too. I'm doing a lot with
tell us about that, but people don't understand. And I have to tell you, I'm in the boondocks in Jersey, right?
Got it.
And the public schools, they do a great job, but they're so politically correct.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like, go to Camden for a day.
Oh.
Go and by the way, Camden on the rebound in a big way. I don't mean to say that, but go to Patterson. Go to some of the stressed areas, the Bronx, and of the stressed areas, and go and see exactly how tough it is there. You got metal detectors at schools.
Right. And here's the problem with those schools. They have handcuffed the teachers, and the teachers can't provide discipline. I'm not talking about corporal punishment. I'm not talking about teachers hitting kids. I'm just talking about teachers being able to stand up and say, "Sit down, Johnny. Sit down, or I'm going to throw you." They can't do it because the child can say, "Oh, I was mentally threatened. I was challenged."
So true.
Joe,
Just like when we were kids.
You went to Catholic school, right?
Well, catechism, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the nuns would attack you.
Oh, listen, I went to Catholic high school.
Oh,
and I'm telling you,
boom.
look, you talk about discipline. You got disciplined, but look, I'm not talking about even physical discipline. I'm just talking about saying, "Sit down. You're crazy." I mean, because kids are look, But I've been involved with this company, a group, Desktop Alert, that is actually providing personal safety devices. The technology has allowed us to be able to move forward, so schools can actually be safer, and public environments can actually be safer by rapid alerts. Every kid has a phone, and parents have a phone, and so forth, and providing that. And my good friend Howard Ryan decided he wanted to give it, GIVE. Give it away. He's a Republican, by the way. He wanted to give it to schools to help them be safer. Desktop Alert, and he's asked me to help to make sure schools can have access to this great technology that's going to make them safer.
Just kids with weapons. Kids coming in with
weapons. But see, when something happens in one area of the school, all the other areas of the school, all the other teachers, they need to be notified in real time, not a general alert. Hey, guy with a gun. I mean, because everybody then panics. You should panic, but you should know exactly what to do, and you should have real-time information. And these personal safety devices, Desktop Alert, will allow everyone in the school to have real-time information in an instant, in a second.
Why is it the private sector and yourself, Michael? Why is it Why can't the government come up with something like that?
You know what? They're not supposed to. But they're supposed to get out of our way to let us do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
I mean, the government is not supposed to do that, but they're supposed to get out of our way. But what our government does is they say, well, we're going to regulate you, and then once we figure out you're over the regulations, now we're going to cash in on a piece of this action.
Yeah.
It's like, are you crazy?
Yeah, or they're so politically correct. They're so afraid to do anything now.
Oh,
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
Like, remember Joe Clark and Patterson? You know, they did I think Morgan Freeman did the part.
Was it Stand By Me? Or was it Stand
Is
By
that
Me?
what that was, Frankie? I think it was
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me. But,
yeah.
you know, and Joe Clark. And then I remember I saw Joe Clark when they put him in charge of the Newark Detention Center. And when I went in there to visit, man, but he kept the peace. And I remember I went in there, Mike. I walked in there because I've been trying to help at-risk kids for 25 years now through my mentor Raymond Chambers, and we work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Jersey. But all those kids were in there and said, "How many fathers are home?" Not one kid raised a hand like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they need a role model that's a little tough. Like, I don't know that what Joe Clark did was right or wrong, but maybe they need somebody tough like that in their life.
Listen, I was a chaplain in the juvenile detention facilities in New York City. So I ran all the juvenile
you saw
detention
some
facilities.
stuff, man.
Oh, man. And the girls were worse than the boys.
No.
Yeah, the girls were worse than the boys. It was absolutely. But the thing was, and they would always ask me when I was in with the kids, do I want somebody to accompany me? And I said, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I had a little training, but it was basically, look, I raised 3 kids. I know I know the eye. You they don't know the bark was much worse than the bite, but that's okay.
Man.
But if kids know you love them, they know you care. There are things that we can do to make our community safer.
God bless you for what you're doing. If there's something we could do in the radio station, I don't know what it is, but maybe to get some private sector boilers up to NYCHA residents up there.
Well, I think to embarrass the government officials, the bureaucrats, embarrassing them, and we're doing some things, and I'll keep in touch with Frank and letting him know what we're doing. But we're actually having conversations with residents about taking some political power, taking some political power back, moving some things forward. But we'll be in touch to let you know exactly what we're doing.
New York Jet, best of the NFL. I tell you what, true doing God's work, my friend. God bless you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. It's always a pleasure,
You're
man.
welcome here anytime, big man. Good to see you. Reverend Michel Faulkner right there from New Horizon Church in New York and helping out all the residents of NYCHA, doing God's work. Piscopo in the morning, 10 minutes before.
Everybody knows this guy. No, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.